Kathmandu to Lukla, often known as the world's most dangerous airport. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous. Apparently sitting on the left-hand side gives you the best views, so everybody's racing for it. Cover off logistics in a bit. There's some funny stuff about delays and stories of that I'll let you know. I'm just waiting, half an hour flight, and then landing pretty much on the side of a mountain. Made it. Ooh, a little bit sweaty over here. Jesus. That runway comes out of nowhere. You just descend into the valley and it's suddenly turbulent and nice. And we're here. Already fairly impressive scenery. So it's the Tenzing-Hillary Airport in Lukla in the Himalayas. Get my stuff sorted before I talk to you about it. Right, we're done. So people fly into Lukla to do the Everest Base Camp Trek, which is what I'm doing. And the flight is renowned because you're landing on the side of a mountain and the runway. It's quite hard to show the perspective, but it's like 30 degrees pitched down and it just goes off the end of what is essentially a cliff. So there aren't many options for the pilot if something goes wrong. It's also fairly notorious for delays because if the weather's not good, then they can't fly. Our flight was at 6 AM and Ganesh, my guide, said, oh, we don't have to be there till 5:30. And like a typical European, I was like, no, it says an hour and a quarter before, so we need to be there at 4:45. The flight was supposed to leave at 6. The airport didn't open till 5:20. and then the sun didn't come up till 20 to 7, and they won't fly in the dark because it's sort of line of sight flying. So if your guide tells you that you don't need to be there, trust them. The actual flight was really impressive. It's really short, but it's a little bit turbulent. The plane does move around a lot, but the views of the Himalayas are incredible. And you can actually see, we got a really good view of Everest just sitting there, but it was turbulent, so I couldn't really get a video of it. And then you just descend into a valley, turn a corner, and it's pretty much no way back. And it all happens very quickly. I was a bit flustered after that flight, so much going on, but flying into Tenzing-Hillary Airport at Lukla gives you access to this, and that is Mount Everest. The flight is intense. Well, you're flying into the Himalayas and the runway is not very long. It's a few hundred meters long, and you come in hot. So I don't know where the cut-off point for there's no go around, but there is a cut-off point where it's a case of you are landing and you don't have a choice about it because there's no escape options. So that's, I guess, what makes it dangerous, along with the short runway. But yeah, it's only a half-hour flight, costs $380 return. So I do have to fly back out, and that's going to be a case of, again, full power off the side of a mountain. So I guess we'll probably cut to that, and we'll keep that, you know, the flight in and out of Lukla as one video, and then the rest of the videos will be about the Everest Base Camp Trek. It's not a flight that I would want to do every day. Those pilots are, one of the guys on the plane was a pilot himself, and he was fascinated. He was like, this is completely alien to what we do, and these guys are incredibly skilled. You would hope so. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So we're back at Lukla Airport, ready to take off. The hilarious thing is that we had to get to Lukla for, I can't remember what time, and Ganesh says that he's done this 100 times, we worked out, and the plane has never left on time. He also says that he's had to wait in Lukla for 8 days before. 8 days because of the weather, no flights. So we'll see. Got clear skies. There it is. You really can't tell how steep it is. Not a huge amount of wind, which is good, but I think we'll be waiting for a couple of hours. I'd love to get a shot of the landing, but we need to check in, and then you can't see the end of the runway from there. So unfortunately, we won't be able to do that. I think I'm going to be pretty nervous. The last flight it's half an hour of just like, oh my God. We'll see. Guess we'll just wait here for a while. Oh. Very quickly. This thing landed maybe 3 minutes ago. that was a mental flight. You clear the ridges by, the first ridge by, I don't know, maybe 200 meters. Close enough. Nah. How was that? You didn't like flying? Yeah. This dude had his head just buried in the seat. The turbulence was worse than the first flight. I can't believe you do that so often. I don't like that. But it's glad that we've done the return flight. Well, I've done the return flight. It's all good. It's a particularly noisy, bumpy. Everything happened so fast. It turned like it landed, and we must have been taking off 6 minutes later, 7 minutes later. Just get everything off, get on, and then take off. Sit on the right hand side on the way back. It is slightly off-putting when you see the fairing for the flaps behind the engine. They're all corroded by the exhaust. The fairing's like broken. It's not what I want to see on an airplane. The people in Namche, if you go to Namche, they took off from Kathmandu to Lukla, and halfway there, loads of lights started going on, and they had to turn back because they had a technical issue, which would not be fun. There's enough going on as we're going over the mountains. All the winds just like coming off the ridges, hits you, and then you just go. Glad it's over. I think the best word is hectic. Absolute madness. If I was a nervous flyer, I would not be getting on that plane. That guy, that must have been that guy's nightmare. Wow. Yeah, hopefully that gives you an insight. I don't think it will show you the turbulence because the GoPro has like hyper smooth on, but it's as intense as it might sound. Okay.